Order of operations is usually summarized using the word BEDMAS or PEDMAS if you took your education in French. B stands for brackets, E stands for exponents, D division and multiplication, A addition, F subtraction. One of the biggest things students get wrong when they do these questions is they think that division must come before multiplication. That is incorrect. Division and multiplication have the same level of priority in the question. Whichever comes first from left to right, you do first. Same thing with addition and subtraction. If subtraction comes before addition in the question, from left to right, you do that first. Here's an example. 4 times 6 plus 2 divided by 2. BEDMAS says you do brackets, there's none, exponents, there's none. You do division or multiplication first. In this question, multiplication comes first. So you would do 24 plus 2 divided by 2. The next step would be to do the division because that comes before addition. So 2 divided by 2 is a 1. 24 plus 1, you get 25. Take that same question and change the way it looks. 4 times bracket, 6 plus 2 divided by 2. You now have a bracket or a parentheses, and that comes first. So 6 plus 2 becomes 8. Then you're left with 4 times 8 divided by 2. Again, division and multiplication have the same level of priority. Multiplication comes first, do it first. 4 times 8 is 32. Divided by 2 is 16. In this example, you have an exponent. So you must do the 3 squared first. And that means 3 times 3, or 3 squared, that becomes a 9. You're left with 8 times 9, minus 6 divided by 2. Your next order of operation would be to do multiplication and division before you do subtraction. 8 times 9 is 72, minus 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is a 3. So 72 minus 3 is going to give you your 69. Next example. 5 times 11 minus 21 over, in a fraction, 2 times 17. Whenever you have a fraction question like this, you have to do the top with all the same rules and the bottom by all the same rules. So on the top we have a multiplication and a subtraction. Multiplication comes first, you would get 55 minus 21. On the bottom, you only have one thing to do, so you would get your 34. On the top, you're going to get 34. On the bottom, you're going to get 34. Of course, the quotient is going to end up being a 1. But remember, the top is its own separate question, the bottom is its own separate question, and when you get them finalized down to a number, then you reduce if possible at the end. This is an example that's meant to teach you how to handle a question where you have brackets within brackets. Notice the square brackets are larger, the round brackets are smaller. When you have brackets within brackets, start with the inside, work your way out. On the inside of the large square brackets, you have another set of brackets. They must be done first. So you're going to end up with 6 times 2 to the third divided by 12. And that must all be completed before you do the 16 subtraction on the outside. So inside these square brackets, you're going to do the exponent next. So 6 times 8, because 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2. Keep working down the question. 6 times 8, which is you're going to do first? You're going to do multiplication. Left to right, multiplication before division. 48 divided by 12. That's going to give you a 4. So you're left with the 16 minus that I didn't carry down in the previous steps, but 16 minus still there. And 16 minus 4 is going to give you the 12. And the last example, you have 20 in a bracket times 5 in a bracket minus 10 in a bracket, 10 outside of a bracket, and 36 divided by 9 inside a bracket. Now, the reason I gave you this question is to show you the difference between brackets that Bedmass is looking at or just regular brackets. Notice the 20 and the 5 really don't need to have those round brackets. It could have simply have said 20 times 5. That means the same thing. But the second set of brackets are necessary because they want you, this question is designed to do the division first. So you would do 36 divided by 9 and get a 4. One thing you should remember from back in your previous life, a number in front of a bracket like this, 10 times 4, that means you must multiply those numbers. So we have a multiplication operation here, 20 times 5. We have a multiplication operation here, 10 times 4, and then a lowlier operation of a negative in the middle, subtraction sign essentially. So you're going to do 20 times 5 and get 100. Take away from that 10 times 4, which is your 40, to give you 60. So watch the shapes of the brackets. Usually square brackets are larger. Inside the square brackets will often be a round set of brackets. So once you get into the inside of a bracket, start your rules all over again. Look for another Bedmass. Do brackets, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract inside that bigger bracket.